So, Pastor Mike Todd of Reformation Church is trending. And I don't know if this is new or this is old or he's done this before, but take a look at this video.
Away for a while. And I've provided for Debbie, but I want to provide some additional funds for her. But I want to channel or funnel those funds through you three men. So I'm going to send each of you $10,000 a month. Okay? Jason, don't get that excited. This is just an illustration. Okay.
Let's say I'm going on a trip and I'm gonna be gone for an extended period of time. Y'all come right here. I'm gonna be gone for an extended period of time, and I want to provide for Natalie, my wife, and I'm taking care of her, but I want to provide some extra finances just in case she gets in a spot. And I'm gonna give each one of y'all $10,000 every. Hold on, it's just an example, okay? Just an example. Scott, calm down.
So, I'm talking to Debbie Everett, and I say it to you, but I want you to give Debbie 10% of it, $1,000 a month, and you can keep the 90%. Just give my wife 10%. So I'm talking to Debbie every day and letting her know, it's an extended trip, but I'll be back in several months. I have to be gone. And after about 3 months, I think about these other funds, and I say, hey, how are the funds coming in from the three guys? And she said, well, Jason sends $1,000 a month. Just like you said, matter of fact, it arrives like January 1st, February 1st. I mean, he's like clockwork. It's $1,000. So good job. Okay.
I'm going to provide $10,000 extra for her through all of you. And all I want you to do is give her $1,000 each time I send you the $10,000. The other nine, you can keep. You do whatever you want to do with it. But I just want to give you that money. Okay. And what if I talk to my wife every night? What's up, baby? How you doing? Ooh, I miss you. Caking. Y'all remember caking? Okay, cool. So I'm talking to her and I'm like, hey, you remember those finances that I was gonna have Charles and Will and Scott give to you? How's it been going? And she's like, yeah, so Charles sends $1,000 every 1st and 15th, like clockwork. It's like $1,000, like it just keeps coming. I'm like, okay, that bet.
I said, well, what about Steve? She said, well, Steve is sending $2,000 a month. I said, $2,000 a month? I didn't ask him for $2,000 a month. I just asked him for $1,000 a month. I know. I said, well, why is he sending two? I don't know. He just sends $2,000 a month.
I said, what about Will? Will, for some reason, sends $2,000. I was like, what? I was like, I just told him to send $1,000. I know, but every 1st and 15th, he sends $2,000. And it's just been consistent all over.
I said, well, what about Trader? Todd, sorry. Todd. I said, what about Todd? She said, well, we need to talk about Todd. I said, well, why? What's Todd doing? Well, the first month he sent $700. The second month, $400. And this last month, he didn't send anything.
And I was like, okay, so what about the thief? I mean, what about Scott? And he said, well, let's talk about Scott for a second. She said the first time he sent $700. The second time he sent $5. And this last month he didn't send anything. And I say, what? Scott didn't send nothing this last month? She said nothing. I said, but I gave him the $10,000.
Okay. Now I want you to think about this. Think about this. How do you think that makes me feel? And I'm giving him the $10,000. It's coming from me. And I just asked him for 10% for my wife. He can keep the 90%. Okay, what do you think I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to send him any more money because he's proven to me he can't be trusted. And I'm going to take what I'm giving him and I'm going to give it to Steve and Jason.
So it is said that Pastor Robert Norris is Pastor Mike Todd's mentor. So normally when a pastor who has been officiating the gospel for a while will adopt another pastor as their mentee so they can go in and teach them how to properly officiate the gospel. So in this example, they are showing the example of the parable of the talent. And normally in churches, there's a series that follows the money, a series of offerings for more money or tithing for more money. It would start off most likely with the parable of the talent, and it will go in for multiple series, and it will wrap around. Pastor Norris said, how do you think that make me feel? And I know where he's going to go with this. He's going to say, well, how do you think that make God feel? So if I stop giving you my money, what do you think God is going to do? Stop giving you the money? Which it's not true, but that's where it's leading to be. And so with that being said, is so pastor, the elder pastor who has been officiating for a while, will teach the mentee, the younger pastor, how to steal the congregation's money. I mean, how to extort the congregation's money. Wait, hold on. I mean, how to manipulate the congregation to give their money. They will teach the younger pastor or their mentee how to use the gospel in a way to help the congregation give more, so they can see that in do giving more, they will get more. So the more you tithe, the more you give, the more you offer to the church, the more God is going to give to you. Ever since the gospel has been televised and churches has been allowing us to see their sermons, pastors has been stealing and copying other pastors' sermons. It is so bad that I was in one church and the pastor would say repeatedly, he said it for like 4 Sundays straight, I am teaching what T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, and Flo Dollar is teaching. And I look around each Sunday, he said this. We're less than 40 people in this church. Why are you teaching what these other pastors are teaching on any given Sunday? And then in the same breath, he says, I woke up early this morning to put this together for you guys. And I'm thinking, and people are clapping, and I'm thinking, you're not connecting the dots. This is one of these men's sermons, one of these pastors' sermons. And he just removed some things and added some things. He even started saying the Joel Osteen thing, this is my Bible. He even started saying that. And nobody thought anything of it. People were so complacent. And needless to say, I'm not there anymore. However, yeah, it's sad when pastors aren't hearing from God, because they don't. But it's even more pathetic when